Hi guys, me Suze Pratt, the holistic stylist. Let's rock and roll and see what Mel's got to say.
Holy crap, who wrote this? Where'd this call out of? So I must just say that I was also myself pretty surprised to see some of the stuff I've said verbatim put in there, but I have no idea who wrote that, and I have no idea who's behind it. So, Unfucker Carl, please stop blaming me. Lisa and Danny, please stop blaming me. It's not big enough. Honest to God, we are so busy. We don't have time to waste doing shit like that. So, on to the next issue. Oh, I just wanted to say.
Yes, you can.
Someone from the Unfucker Cult actually sent this blog to me and asked me outright if it was ours, if we had put it up. So I just want to say to that person, categorically, no, this is not from us. That the things that I experienced of Randy, many other people have also experienced.
What?
And I do want to address this because there's some false speculation going around about what happened. Right. I actually did a very in-depth conversation with a gentleman by the name of Z last night on Conscious Consumer Network. It was a live interview. And Z had previously
I happen to know everything about what happened with Z and Randy, you guys.
It really helped me heal
I made a video last night too.
Flung around by Randy at us. And what was interesting to note was that the things that I'd experienced of Randy, many other people have also experienced of him. And the funny thing is that the Unfucker Cult seem to think that Randy Morgan's left over the Zen Gardner issue. No, Randy Morgan's had left a month before the whole Zen Gardner issue kicked off. And in fact, we were still on good terms after
because he thought the Venus Project was creepy, just like I do. Sorry. Oh, and they broadcast for free when they show up.
Post about Zen Gardner after Zen Gardner had been publicly supposedly outed, that Randy Morgan's decided to bully Biggie about a post he put out about Zen Gardner, reposting one of Zen Gardner's old shows, which actually was an automated post. It wasn't even something Biggie put out. And it had been scheduled through automated posts. And then we noticed on Randy's page just how much he had been slagging off Zen without getting to the bottom of the facts. And we offered Randy a chance to talk to Zen as we had done, and as we
I think I might talk to Zen soon.
From the horse's mouth, and Randy turned it down.
Yes,
he was much more interested
because I'm his secret girl, you know, that he's getting ready to slam.
And attacking us, and some other reason, we obviously really showed him up, and he just went nuclear and dragged in the Unfucker Cult and Lisa and Danny, and of course they've all jumped on this. They've all lapped it up, because wherever there's drama, they are those people. They always want to be in the let's hate the CCN camp, whatever they may be, whether it's justified or not. And Randy had absolutely no justification for the way he behaved. And the fact that the Unfucker Cult have justified it and dignified about getting involved just shows how low they are, and how uninformed they are, and just how pathetic they are. So shame on you. For those of you who sort of latched onto this, please do watch the interview I did with Z, and you'll understand exactly what kind of person Randy Morgan's really is. And you guys jumping onto his bandwagon, very, very.
Randy's a guy that started a group that somebody else tried to take over because they weren't control, like they said on the show last night.
The issue with Randy is because of Randy. As we discussed with Z last night, we've had a chance to chat to many people who have worked with Randy in the past and who have worked with Randy and who are no longer working with Randy. And they all say that the problem is Randy Morgan. There's psychological narcissistic issues and tendencies there.
She's building a fake story, you guys.
It's becoming more and more obvious as each day goes past, as we watch him unravel online with the constant hate.
Her and Z.
Unjustly directing at us. And
against Randy and me.
Kind of crosses him or upsets him.
I'm still on this station getting
we've seen this before.
played for a fool because I'm too ignorant to know how to run a website or to take care of myself. They've taught me everything I know.
I just don't even understand why he felt the need to do that. And
we can go back 30 years and see the proof. But I did public speaking, education, speaking out on the offenses of the spirit.
I'd like to know in what form that comes. Okay, because we don't get any corporate sponsorship, and we certainly don't get government subsidies. I'm not on any form of government benefits. We can't get it.
I'm getting a huge donation in September, I hear, by the grapevine, too.
And, all he's trying to do
Mel
is
said it
deter
in
people
Academy.
from us. In other words,
I got that footage, too.
Stop us from existing, which I think is very sad, because we never harmed him. We've never caused him any harm or loss. He worked with us very well the entire time that he worked with us. There was always good communications. And in fact, after he left, everything was good. It was only a month later, after he left, the Zen Gardener issue came out and things went to pot. So for those unfuckers going around saying that
Venus Project and other people that don't have to pay versus the people that pay a donation to try to help the world, like me.
And you whip it for as much as it's worth with maximum pain and drama. Pathetic, really. Anyway. It's really interesting to see Max Eigen coming forward this week, obviously, to say very much the same things that I've been saying from the very beginning about Zen Gardener, which is, first off, nobody has come forward to make any claims against them, and therefore...
Hey, I've been wanting to ask this question. Hang on a second.
Stalactites, body of the crime. Where is the body?
Okay, so here's my question, you guys. When you say that no victim has come forward, how would these alleged victims even know this is going on in the wide world of computer electronics? Because you see, even if you're on the internet, there's only a select percentage of people that find the alternative media and look for things that are of a deeper nature than the stuff they see in the outside world. In my imagination, if there was anybody out there, they would have no idea this big soap opera drama is even going on in this little itty bitty teeny tiny corner of the internet that we see as our stage. So, I'm going to turn it back on, but I just needed to speak that because it's been on my mind.
So we can't actually say that, even if we wanted to make charges against Zen Gardener, who would be the crown of any charges that we charged him with? We actually need to have a specific incident of a specific person coming forward, not just a general allegation. With all these kind of things, obviously it's very difficult to produce material evidence if crimes have happened a long time ago, but certainly a first-hand witness account or testimony or anybody coming forward would have been welcomed. And as Max Argan said, he was amazed at how absolutely quiet it was. Nobody came forward to say, oh, Zen Gardener did this to me. No one, okay? Or Don Ferguson, which is Zen Gardener's real name. Nobody came forward. Don Ferguson, Zen Gardener, has categorically stated that he's never hurt a child, he's never been sexually involved with a child, and in fact, one of the people who did know Don from his days with the Children of God said he was nothing but kind.
I can't believe his last name is Ferguson, you guys. Doesn't anybody else think that's wild that I live in Ferguson, which has major disclosure action going on, and his last name is for real Ferguson.
The majority of people still very stuck in the fear paradigm and still doing the same thing that mainstream media does, which is spread disinformation through lies and rumors, which, you know, it's sad. It's sad to see that this is going on, because I thought we were trying to create a new world and move past all that, which is why, having created a network that's firmly rooted in creating a new paradigm of media, the last thing we were going to do is jump on the hate bandwagon without checking the facts.
You do it all the time at Journalism Academy. That's what I learned in Junior Achievement.
To do so, who required to do so, to get the information from the source, to feed it out to
Journalism Academy.
Because at the end of the day, the only place, besides a witness coming forward, which never happened, the only place we could get that evidence from would have been directly from Zen himself, because he was the one who initially leaked or put this information out there, which then got furthered. So it's up to him really to give the story or clarify the facts, or, you know, put to bed any rumors before they fester into facts, and make his statement of fact, which he did, and did it on network, did it with Angela Power Disney. And I had another brief chat with him earlier on this week.
And I know I cough on camera, you guys, and I'm not perfect.
And,
but did anybody see how much he was choking on his words the whole time. He had to shut down the volume on his share screen because it got so serious. And we always need to look in the eyes. I only saw his eyes sparkle when he talked about the cult stuff. Now that's my opinion on something that I'm not involved in. But I am involved in this whole disclosure thing where we find out who everybody really is.
It is funny how everyone kind of piped down about the Zen Garden matter after Max Igan took the same stand as we did, because it was almost like people don't have their own opinion, I saw Lisa Harrison's comment, yes, thank you, Max, for whatever, Like,
Lord have mercy, you know I have an opinion.
Show him what to think. She couldn't discern for herself.
Oh, by the way, it's September 1st,
pretty simple to discern.
And like I disclosed 2 years ago, I was going through a major phenomena all day. And guess what's going on now, too?
The opportunity was there for anybody
it's just
who wants
cycles.
to do that. We made Zen available. We spoke to Zen, said if anybody who wants to speak to you, you think they weren't speaking to you, will you speak to them? Zen said yes. If you think they weren't speaking to you, I'll speak to them. He was open to it. Randy Morgan's had an offer made to him. He turned it flatly down. The offer was there for anybody else alternative media who wants to have a chat with Zen regarding any of this. The offer was there. Zen was always open and available. So, it's interesting that some people supposedly, enlightened and intelligent figures of the so-called movement had to be waged to be shown what to think by, giants like Max Igan. And thank God for Max. Thank God for his level-headedness. And I do want to say well done to Max for actually coming out this week.
This is why your buddy Sue hasn't had any time to follow anybody or beg for breadcrumbs or try to be in somebody's group. I've been out doing my own thing. And like I've said before, if this gets promoted as a selfish act, then we can see where it would discourage people from being able to work through their trauma and from learning to really, honest to God, love people and not bully them. This is just me getting stronger by the minute. I've been tolerating this
this week, Max Igan,
since March. So ask yourself,
what have been going on behind the scenes. I've learned some documents.
Could you, would you
And I did chat to Max a little bit
tolerate it
as well about what had been going on.
Even as long as I did.
It's interesting to see. I want to just say thank you very much.
We just have to make a stand because you know what? They say by the end of September, we're not going to have this kind of internet anymore, and that Obama's going to sign some kind of piece of paper. Internet goes to the United Nations to control, and we wind up not being able to share about many of the things that we do.
Don Blade said it's like a giant rose out of the ocean to stand beside us, and thank you for that, Max, because
he stood beside if everybody could be responsible online, there'd be no reason for people that want to control us to say these kids can't handle this toy, so we're going to take it away from them, and we're going to take care of them because they're too stupid.
Also saying that
this is what the people that run the world say, which I think is pathetic because they're not even human.
Out of all of this, it's not the allegations against Zen that has been the most shocking thing. It's been seeing the emotionally immature way people online have reacted to the situation. And Max was spot on in his assessment of that. And I must just say, I'm very resonant of that perspective. As I said, we had an interesting interview with Z last night. Please make sure you guys check it out. He gave us his perspective on his time of work.
Did I mention that I watched it live last night and took notes and made a video? Because Z's coming gunning for me, guys. You hear it here first. He hasn't exposed my name publicly, but him and Mel are already plotting and planning. Because Mel has a hard time dealing with me, and she pops off on me, but I won't fight her. I've watched her fight everybody else, and I'm not saying these people are innocent. I'm just saying I don't fight. I will disconnect.
And if anybody wants to come and verify any of that with us, feel free.
And why go to you and ask your permission? Why not just speak
and
do what everybody else does? We're just logging in our witness.
In fact, we have it. He went on to talk a bit about how we're using YouTube, not live stream. And, we paid for the use of the live stream license till the end of
Did I mention I paid $3,000 donation to Biggie and Mel to build me a website that's too complicated for me? And so people say they might be doing the oldest trick in the book, stealing my identity, taking my website, fucking up my life. It's possible.
That it's still as effective and it hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. We're still doing the same thing we've always done, and all we've done is make it easier for people to access and make the features and facilities more for people. That's all. But for some reason he thinks that this is a reason to go and attack us all over the show, and I'm just so sick of having to dignify these ridiculous slanderous lies and allegations.
So keep putting me off.
And having to, go
keep refusing to give me the admin and the registrar for my webpage. It's my content. Nobody can pull it off but me.
Every time we do an operational
the only people that have attacked me since I've come online and took advantage of me hard is y'all.
Working at it. So it's a constantly growing network system behind the scenes. We're constantly changing it. And we've recently just come through a massive period of, it actually started in March with the installation of the new server, a massive technical upgrade, which we've taken several months to do because we couldn't do it all at once. We couldn't afford it. We had to raise the funding to get it sorted. And we're
right, you still need 60 grand, I know.
Sorted for now to get to the next point. And the next point launches this September. So
wait till people find out.
The 1st September, we've come through all of this and we've
about
everything where we need to
how much money somebody else has put in and how they've paid through the year.
I just want to set the...
Not me. I don't want you guys to think that. I get taken by the month.
So the bottom line is we're doing well. We're in terms of we're not going anywhere. I know there's been a lot of people out to destroy us and try to take us down. And
1 minute you don't have money, 1 minute you do.
Because they themselves are not
people find that very suspicious.
We've worked very hard to get this project off the ground, very hard to keep it running for almost 2 years now. It's not up to anybody else to try and destroy it. It's you haven't put the work in. You don't know how much has gone into this.
And see, that's why you don't even realize that you're trying to destroy me by simply mocking me and ignoring me and belittling me and acting like I'm less than you are or less intelligent. I told you guys, I'm self-educated, I'm on a mission, and I'm involved in a phenomenon. If Z wants to make it like it's not real, he needs to come deal with Mama to do that. Not get somebody to gang up and bully with me. Two of you coming at me, I won't take it.
First off, I do want to say my book Dragonology was meant to launch today. Today's 1st September. It is ready. It's ready to go. I just have one more person giving it one final read through to make sure we get any of the last minute things that we can get out before we actually put the book out into the public. So just having one more second set of eyes read through.
What else
and
you got?
My book ban. I'm trying to find out here. Obviously, I want to know what the hell is really going on. Because as far as I was concerned, the knowledge that I had based on all the information that I had gathered, that I couldn't return to my home country, and it was due to the fact that my book was banned. Anyway. So, not really sure what's going on there. Haven't heard back from them, but we're hoping to hear that because that means I might actually be able to return to my home country. What is interesting though is the Film Publications Board is actually an agency of the South African Intelligence Network and Military Industrial Complex, which of course, it's more like the Film Publications Board.
Alright, so I gotta run over to the bank, pay a charge card. Oh, and yeah, by the way, they got me on an 18% charge card too. Could at least let me mail you the monthly payment and trust me since I've given my complete trust to you. But anyhow, peace out guys for now.
Government department in South Africa, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's dealing with governmental departments in any country is taxing, but particularly in third world countries where people are paid a very low wage, and it's largely very disorganized and not very well run and very underfunded and all those beautiful things. So this is how I came to know. I wanted to obviously give a little bit of background of how I came to understand what had happened to my book. Basically, in 2010, I went home to South Africa. It was over the period of the FIFA World Cup soccer, and that year was the Durban Film Festival that I entered. Yes, it was. That was 2010. I entered the Durban Film Festival. My film, The Message, went into the film festival. After initially being given a screening date, my film was banned from the festival, and I was pretty shocked about this. Anyway, so after coming back from South Africa, I published my book in 2011, and there's a long story behind this. I was approached by a guy called Robin Jackson from Expansion Mind Publishers, and his name has come up recently in regards to the Zen Gardener issue, because Robin was himself a survivor of a Jehovah's Witness cult, having been involved in this cult for, I think it was 25 years, and he wrote a very good book called Cults. And what it did was it really kind of made me compassionate to the experiences of people who get stuck in cults and then try to escape them, which is why I was kind of more sympathetic towards Zen Gardener, having been stuck in a cult for like 27 years, because I actually knew someone and had worked with someone and read his book and understood his journey of someone who had been in a similar position. This is my publisher, and he put his neck on the line to publish my book. There was so much that happened, and I wanted to read to you this. Oh, hold on, I'm jumping ahead of myself here. There were so many things that happened when he tried to publish this book. Then one day it was published, and he had gotten the book printed and everything, and he went past my mum's office, and this was on the 26th of January 2012, because that was my mother's birthday. And he went past my mum's office and gave her a printed copy of my book, and she was the first person to receive a printed copy. And it was very kind of Robin to do, to go to my mum's office in Umhlanga and drop off a printed copy of my book. And then after that day, he disappeared. I couldn't contact him. I couldn't get hold of him. I was so worried about it, because I knew he had just finished printing the books, because he'd given one to my mum, and he told me he'd finished printing it, and then suddenly he disappeared. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Anyway, it was just a bit of a mystery. And then I get a few months go past, and in between this time, I'm freaking out because I don't know what the hell's happened to my book. I don't know what's going on. And this is when I did my first interview with Lisa M. Harrison, the very first one I did with her, where a publisher gone AWOL. I was worried about my book and didn't know what was going on. And there were some funny messages coming backwards and forwards from his publishing company and whatnot. Anyway, the sort of mystery around what happened to him cleared when I got this message on the 23rd of April 2012. It says, "The past few weeks have been extremely tough on me and my immediate family. Due to the nature of my work and my expose of certain groups, I've become the target of sinister and clandestine groups bent on destroying me and my family. With immediate effect, I'm shutting down Expanding Mind Publishers as a publisher of other authors' work. My sincere apologies to those of you who may have been affected by this. It is time I treasure dearly my loved ones and family. To those of you who may have been concerned about my well-being and state of mind, I appreciate your concerns dearly." Now, what he's saying there is, he's saying he's shutting down the publishing of other authors' books. And at the time he was publishing my book, there was only one other guy whose book he was publishing, and this book was more like a novel than anything else. It wasn't anything too hectic. So what he's doing here is, in a veiled reference, referencing my book, that he has to stop publishing my book without so much as coming out and saying it as that. But after this, during this time that he was kind of missing for these 2 months, my mom went looking for him, went to his home. He had quit his job, he disappeared. He and his family had when I got an email from him, he told me that he had to send his children to go stay with the grandparents in another city. I think it was East London or Port Elizabeth, one of those two. I can't remember if it serves me correctly. It was either East London or Port Elizabeth, and the kids had to go to either East London or Port Elizabeth to stay with the grandparents. And my publisher, Rob, was actually from my hometown of Durban, so that would have been where he was based. And it was really, really confusing. So, of course, after this letter, I wrote to Robin, and we had a very limited conversation, and he just said, "Look, I can't really talk to you. kind of in trouble here over having published your work. And I was like, oh my God. And he told me a little bit about what happened to the kids. The kids had to be sent away because they were targeted. Because
always drama.
Like, I can't believe that it's caused this much trouble for this dear man who's taken the risk to publish my work. So anyway, I looked at the book. It's got an ISBN number, an international standard book number, and of course, if it has one of those, it means the book is in fact registered at Victoria Library. So I wanted to see a court Victoria Library to see if my book was registered there. I gave them my ISBN number, I think back in 2012, and they said, no, your book is not here. And I said, but how can I have an ISBN number? How can it be registered and you have no record of it? They said to me, well, that happens when a book gets banned. And I was like, okay, so what's going on here? And then I decided to go and speak to the South African Embassy here in The Hague and actually sit down and have a conversation with them. And I was met by this woman who had previously tried to sort out my passport. And I remember her very clearly. She's a big black woman like this. And in sorting out my passport the previous times, I had to reapply 3 times because on one occasion she lost my passport photos and then she lost my passport application. It was a complete nightmare. I mean, this is an example of what governmental departments are like in South Africa. To reapply for my passport 3 times, it was an absolute nightmare. And then I go and when I'm concerned about all this, I sit down and speak to her and I said, look, there's this issue. I've written this book. This is what's happened. And at first she said, no, there's no problem. And then she says, well, what's your book about? And I explained to her. And then I started obviously explaining to her, it's about the fact that Nelson Mandela wasn't a hero, and Nelson Mandela was a bad man, that he was a terrorist, and the whole apartheid thing was a complete scam. And I'm sitting there telling this to a black woman who works for the South African government or the South African embassy. And the longer I sat there talking to her, the more she just kind of started withdrawing. And at the end of it, she just looks at me, she goes, oh, maybe it's better you must be staying here in Holland. And that was what she said to me. So I was like, okay, clearly in a bit of shit here with what I've written. So I left it at that. And I did at one stage ask my mom to try and find out like what the status was. Would I be arrested if I came to the airport in South Africa or whatever else? And my mom was actually too scared to go and do any investigating about this. I think she was too afraid of what she would find out. But as a result, I hadn't seen my family for 6 years until this July. And the only reason I saw them was because my gran passed away earlier this year. The whole family kind of just, wanted to be together for a bit. So my parents came over to Holland. Hadn't seen them for 6 years. Hadn't seen my baby brother for 6 years, which was the hardest thing for me. I haven't been home since publishing the book. And trust me, I am so homesick. I think about South Africa every single day. And I've not been home because I've been absolutely under the impression that my book was banned and that I was not able to enter the country again, or that I might be arrested of entering the country, or that my life might be in danger. So I've been living under this impression for the last 6 years, and I tell you what, it was like just a huge relief to get this email from this guy, Paul Sharp. So please, Paul, I tried to trace you through the message you sent, but I wasn't able to do so. Just get in touch at info@consciousconsumernetwork.tv. If this is in fact the case and you've actually found out someone who can help me out, I'd like to thank you very, very much. Because we've been trying to find out the official status of whether I can or can't go back for quite some time now. As I said, it's been almost 6 years since I've been back. 6 years since I've been back to South Africa. And I would just like to say though that this has of course raised a bit of, awareness and concern, because this couldn't have been better planned than if someone wanted to sabotage the release of my book on this day. Like, oh, hang on, your previous book wasn't banned, because this guy actually writes to me and says, your book was not banned in South Africa. Your book is not banned in South Africa. Why would you say such a thing? And I want to thank you for asking why, because that is the only thing I could ever ask anybody to do, is to question the facts instead of just jumping on board and going, oh, she said this and it's not true, because this is the impression that I've been living with for the last 6 years, however else long. And thank you, Paul Sharp. I have in fact contacted that contact you've asked me to contact, phoned them, and as I said, I just got a recorded message which repeated twice and then the phone hung up. And I have written them an email and I have not yet gotten a response. So as soon as I get a response from this contact details you've given me, I will let you know what I've heard from them. But as yet I've heard nothing. So as of yet, this could all still be, I don't know, a plan of sabotage. I would just like to say that, you asked me why would I do something like this. Say, I would much rather have sold this book and gotten some funds for it. The only reason I put it on the internet, and we've had over 100,000 downloads, the reason I've given it away for free was because I was under the impression that the book was banned and we couldn't sell it in South Africa. It's written for South Africans, and people from across the world have read it, but it really is the South African guide to the global conspiracy. So trust me, 100,000 books, I'd much rather have had the book sales than that. I wouldn't be having any of the financial problems I'm having now if I'd had the money from all those books that have been downloaded. The reason I didn't sell the book was because I was advised that I'd not be able to sell this book in South Africa due to the fact that it was banned. So I'm kind of going, have I missed out a shitload of money here, or what's going on? Was I played at some point? Maybe I was played by my publisher. I'm not really sure what happened there. I wasn't, like I said, there was still a lot of mystery as to what went on. We never got complete closure on that situation. Anyway, so from all the drama that ensued from publishing my book and not thinking that it was banned, or maybe it is still banned, I'm sure it is, because I don't imagine that I would have just given it away for no reason. We just decided to put it for free on the internet so everybody could access it. I wasn't going to say, no, you can't have it because I can't sell it. If it's banned, we're going to just put it in a place where people can access it, which is online, which is what we've done. And as I said, we've had over 100,000 downloads to date, and I certainly would not be in a financial bind that I'm in now if we had those books paid for. So thank you to Paul Sharp for getting in touch, and I hope that's answered your question as to why I would say that. I certainly didn't make it up. This was certainly a very real drama that I went through. Anybody who's followed my journey will remember all of this. And in fact, there is a Lisa Harrison interview I did, the very first interview I did with Lisa Harrison, in which we talk about all this. This was at the time when my publisher went missing. So it's all there, it's all date stamped, it's all at its time in history for you to go back if you actually want to go verify the journey and see, why it is we're of this impression, or why it is these facts have been put out.
That's why we like chart friends, because you can put it together in a clear, concise manner, and then share it when you need to
so I thought,
validate your experience.
That this whole time I've been thinking that I'm not allowed to go back to my home country, and I have deprived myself like 6 years of my baby brother's life. I mean, for me, that for me is just it's almost unforgivable in a way. And I just it reminds me of how easy it is to get sucked into believing something. Okay, this is what I want to talk about. It's the cult mindset. It's so easy to get people believing in shit. And it's all to do with fear-based programming. Like, I was afraid something would happen to me if I went home based on, obviously, all this drama. And it was a very interesting exercise for me to go through, because I realized just how easy it is for, I always think, I'm not wanting to easily be fooled these days, but I think I'm getting better with age. But, it's so, you can really impact people's lives by
40
feeding them
is an initiation age
on a
where
web
either
page, or just
you're allowed to speak
video
within the group,
on a website.
you're welcomed in.
You can really impact people's lives, cause them to make turnaround altering decisions that impact them, their family, people that they love. In my case, not seeing any of my friends that I grew up with for such a long time, not seeing my family. It's it was very interesting to kind of go through that. So, as always, I encourage people to dig deep, explore the mysteries, and shed light. For me, I am only interested in the truth, and I'm only ever interested in finding out the facts with regards to all things. So, if anybody wants to bring forward any facts or proof of claims, or prove me wrong or prove me right, please, I'm always here. I always want to learn. Some good news is we've got the Venus Project starting on Conscious Consumer Network next week. We're very excited for that, and we've got some very interesting
You guys are excited for that.
Very interesting communities and
that's the real reason why Randy Moggins checked out.
I'm really seeing some interesting stuff come out of the
He just didn't agree with it.
Looking
and especially when somebody's broadcasting for free.
And on Conscious Community. So I'm going to give Wax Lyrical a break for a bit and really focus more on community-based stuff. We will probably within the next week or so be launching the first book of Dragonology called Spellbreaker, I look forward to releasing that. That's been a real labour of love. And of course, we are expanding our international team. So if there are any foreign language broadcasters who perhaps are interested in broadcasting, do get in touch. We're also still looking for English-speaking broadcasters, so please get in touch. Of course, do check out our broadcast archive that is available on ccn.media. And as all shows are that we do, I'll put up there to watch at a later time. And check out the broadcast guide to see what else is on. And of course, guys, we are a publicly funded network. We don't get subsidies from anybody. Please support our network support campaign and keep us on the air. On that note, it's time for me to go. Thank you for lending me your ears and your time and attention. It's always an honor and a privilege. My name has been Mel Ve. This is Wax Lyrical, and we will see you again.
Alrighty then. Turn this off.